Marriage can be a blast, the best thing ever. But no one's ever said that marriage is easy. This pandemic may have given us more time together, which can be wonderful, but we should be aware of too much time together and an effective balance of separateness and togetherness. And the right ratio of this varies from couple to couple. Too much time together can be as challenging as not enough time. Obviously, every couple's relationship has its own dynamics. But you might want to consider these 9 tips to avoid allowing the pandemic to disrupt your marriage. Number 1, have activities that you do separately. It's definitely possible that in your pre-pandemic life, you might have struggled to find time to spend with your spouse. But right now, we need to be aware that it's possible to have too much of a good thing, especially if you have a smaller home. So spend some time apart each day. Make an effort to see this through every day. This can be really simple to accomplish. Maybe one of you goes to the store while the other one stays home. When the shopper returns, the person who stayed home can go for a walk or maybe go work outside. However you make this work, those few hours of alone time can do us all wonders. Number 2 is that this is the time to avoid doing things that you know irritate your spouse. You know your spouse, you know what your spouse likes and doesn't like, and you might even do some of those things now and then on purpose just for the spite of it. There's give and take, there's ups and downs, we're all human. But really try to be aware now isn't the time for passive-aggressive behavior. Seriously, why poke the bear when you can't get away from the bear? And number 3, put a stop to any criticism. This is basically the same idea, but for criticism. It's completely understandable that you might be frustrated with each other, but why take it to another level when it really isn't necessary? Now is not the time to criticize. Choose your words wisely, think before you speak, and really just focus on how you feel. Be careful, just don't play the victim or the all-knowing one. Just be real. Think about it for a minute. Have you ever received any personal criticism that really strengthened your relationship with that person? Probably not. So take a step back, keep the bigger picture in focus. 4th thing you can do is to stay busy. Bored and annoyed is worse than comfortably busy and annoyed. So just find something to do and put your attention on that task. It's a more productive and enjoyable way to exist under the same roof. We know that idle minds have a tendency to become agitated. So if you are feeling a little wound up, the 5th thing is to argue outside of the home. Literally, take it outside. If you know you're going to fight or just can't hold it back, try and do it somewhere else. For one thing, the kids will appreciate not having to be a part of it. It also avoids emotionally contaminating the home. It's less comfortable in the home after an argument has occurred. So try and argue somewhere else and preserve the sanctity of your home. 6th tip, keep the house tidy. All right, for some of us, this may have been a bit off of our radar in the other life, but really just be aware of your shared space, as we're all spending more time in it than usual. A cluttered home is more stressful for everyone. So just encourage everyone to pick up after themselves, and there will be less tension in your home. Believe me, I know this can be challenging. We have a teenager, and it isn't easy. Cleaning up after himself every time is a life lesson he's still working on learning. We just do our best and try and lead by example. Oh, and here's an idea. See if you can work things out so that everyone in the house has a chore or two to do each day, or at least each week. Because at the end of the day, a tidy home is a more peaceful home. Number 7, communicate. Communicate, 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 communicate. Keep the lines open. Communication is always important, but now it's more important than ever. So you might have to put this on the front burner and try to have at least one meaningful conversation each day. So what makes a conversation meaningful? Well, really, in the end, it's just a conversation you both had that you're glad you had. And this can sound a bit strange, but on some level, this adds to the fabric of your relationship. In terms of what to talk about, well, the topics are wide open. You can have a meaningful conversation about the weather or garbage cans, just as long as you're both glad you had the conversation afterwards. Number 8, establish routines. Once you've established it, keep a routine. Chances are it's going to be a different routine than we had before, but a routine is still important. We are creatures of habit. Perhaps it's getting everyone out of bed at a certain time. Maybe you have a dinner routine, or a bedtime routine, or a family game time routine. Whatever it is, just keep everyone on some semblance of a schedule. We like that. We've started a night each week where our son is in charge of dinner. Sometimes mom and dad help out, and sometimes it's him just making mac and cheese, which he does really well, by the way. Whatever it may be for you and your family, the routine helps us, seriously, on various levels, and usually the simpler the routine, the better and easier it is to keep it going. Number 9, be kind. Now, everyone knows how to be kind, but be especially kind to each other during this challenging time. Marriages are challenging even under great circumstances, and we're not living in great circumstances right now. So just be kind. In the end, that's just a good idea for any relationship, but even more so during troubling times.